Unbelievable, right? You know that. It's pretty crazy.
It should be the reverse.
I know that. It goes against all of my beliefs. It goes against literally all of my beliefs.
He's just wrong. He's just wrong. But the thing is,
What's that? This sounds exciting.
This is hot. Something's going against all of his beliefs.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Good line, by the way.
Oh, really? Okay, should we wait 2 more minutes? Maybe we should pause it?
Like milk. Restart a little bit.
I'll explain to you after. I'm very against it. It Mamish goes against all my beliefs.
7:15.
Everything like
No, cool.
No, powder lady.
it's completely against everything. The way I do things. And I explain to you what would happen.
Yeah, this sounds exciting.
I've told you about it. Hi everybody. Hi world. Spending time on social media. How you doing? You should be off social media when you're not learning the Daf, obviously. And spending time in other things, other pursuits.
I hope we edit that.
Like ball playing. That's healthy.
That's out there. All right.
Okay.
Here we go. So today, Hayom Qatar, V'Amlacha Merubah. Today's theme. He's back. Theme back. Yeah. So Ellie left us with a real doozy for today. He's going to be coming tomorrow. He's back tomorrow. We're giving cheer. He's back. Yeah.
Did you bring coffee?
Pardon?
Did you bring coffee?
Actually, I don't even know if he's coming back. His coffee's coming back. He told me he's overweight. I think he was referring. I think he was referring to his luggage. Yeah. And I think that's from. So I do think he's bringing back some nice fresh coffee. Okay, but we've got a lot of work to do over here. It's one of those. Stopping. We got to hold cup a little bit. Okay. No, it's not so bad, guys. I should have said that. People automatically tune out.
Like, yeah, we're like,
let's get going. Just chat 45 minutes. Okay, no, they're basically over this daf 3 hakdamos that I'm going to give. One right now, one in the middle, a very, very short one, and one at the end.
Hakdama at the end.
Yeah, hakdama at the end for the last sugya. Okay, three parts. Okay. So just if you get this hakdama, if you get these hakdamas though, then I think that the daf will run much, much smoother. Okay. So hakdama number 1. We know that a Baal Noam, you cannot be makriv as a korban onto the mizbeach. That we know. That's a simple one, right? Now there are 3 types of hakdasha. There are 3 types of being able to be makdish something, to make something holy to the base of Mikdash. Okay? It goes like this. You can be makdish something to Bedek Habayis, right? To be makdish something to Bedek Habayis means I'm being makdish something for the structure of the building. That is Kedushas Mamon, and it goes off to Bedek Habayis. Very nice. Now you have something else. You have what's called either Kedushas Damim, and that's Kedushas Damim, right? That's what we know as Kedushas Damim. That's holiness of money. Basically, you're saying this money is going to be holy through this object, through this, and it goes to Bedek Habayis. You have something else called Kedushas Haguf, right? And now it works as follows. If you're Makdish a Behema, okay, when you're Makdish a Behema, if that Behema is Tamim, it's a good proper Behema to be able to be Makdish to the base of Mikdash, so then we say, okay, you're Makdish it, and you're saying basically, I want to be Makdish as a korban. If afterwards it gets a mum, right, so it can no longer be nikrav as a korban, it still has kedushas haguf. It maintains its kedushas haguf because it had it when you were makdish it, and now you can't be makdish it. So that's what we call psulei hamukdashim, right? That's psulei hamukdashim. The din by psulei hamukdashim after it got that mum is that it becomes chulin. It becomes chulin, but it maintains some level of kedusha. Okay? Meaning specifically, namely, you can't use it begiza ve'avoda. Okay? So you're podeh that psulem mukdashim, and now you can't use it. Okay? You can't shear it. You can't use it to work your field. It has some levels of kedusha. Only shechted. You could shecht it and eat it. That you could do. Okay? So it maintains some semblance of that level of kedusha. Then you have something else, which is what our Gemara today is going to talk about. So focus on this part right now. Then you have what's as follows. If you have a behema that has a mum already, a significant mum, a mum kavua, okay? And after that mum kavua, you decide, anyway, I want to designate this to the base of Mikdash. So it's clear that you can't designate that as an actual korban because it has a mum. But what it does do is it doesn't make it a kedushas damim that it goes to Bedek Habayis. This is what we call kedushas damim lamizbeach. Okay, it's kedushas damim lamizbeach, which says what? Which says you have to redeem this animal. You have to redeem it, meaning it got some semblance of kedusha. Okay, so you have to redeem it, and after you redeem it, that money goes to buy a korban to bring up to the Beis Hamikdash, to bring up to the mizbeach. Got it?
What's that one called?
That's kedushas damim lamizbeach, and that happens when you have a mum and then you're makdish. Okay?
Which you're not allowed to do.
Which you should not do, but you did it. Okay? And now, after you did that, if you're poda it, once you're poda that animal has a mum, I'm makdish, and now I'm poda it, so that money goes from mizbeach, and the animal itself is complete chulin. It's chulin, done. There's no level of kedusha whatsoever, okay? So that's a significant difference between psula and mukdashim versus this animal. Psula and mukdashim is, I had a behema, it got a mum, hold it maintained some level of kedusha, versus this where it already has a mum, I'm makdish it, the reverse, has a mum, I'm makdish it, then I'm hold it, it's good to go. And that money goes to the mizbeach. Clear? Clear. Now let's read our Mishnah. Our Mishnah is going to flow very simply now. Okay. The Mishnah says, Kol hakachim shekadam mum kavua lehekdeshan. Okay? So this is the second example I gave, right? It already had a mum and then you were makdish it. So Kol hakachim shekadam mum kavua lehekdeshan. The mum came before you were makdish it, and then you're podeh v'niftu. So they're chayavim b'bechoros, because the bechor is only by chulin, right? If it's hekdesh, there's no bechor. So you see, this was nifta, it's complete chulin. Chayavim b'bechoros u'b'matanos v'yotzim lechulin v'gazes v'le'aved, and you can do giza and avoda with it, no problem. Vladon v'chalavan mutter la'acha pidyonan. Yeah, a vlad that this animal has, it has a baby, it's totally chulin, no problem. Yeah, the chalav that you milk from this animal, no problem, it's totally fine, it's complete chulin. Now, v'ashoichtan b'chutz patur, and this is even before you're podeh. If it has a mum, and then you're makdish it, if you're shoichet b'chutz, we'll see what that means. It doesn't mean out of the Beis Hamikdash. We'll see what that means on the base. But if you're shoichet b'chutz, suffice to say you're patur, it's no problem, because it's not an intense level of kedusha. Yeah, it's not a very intense kedusha, because it already had a mum when you were makdish it. Ve'ein oisin tmura. Furthermore, if you try to make, thank you very much. If you try to make a tmura from this animal, right? What's a tmura? You have a behemoth hekdesh, and you're not supposed to do this either. And you say, instead of this behemoth hekdesh, I want this behemoth to have the kedusha of this behemoth. So you can only do that if this behemoth is kadosh, right?
Both kodesh.
And then they both become kadosh, correct, right? Over here, the animal we're talking about that had a mum kavua first and then not, is so not kadosh that even if you tried to make a tmura, didn't do anything, okay? Ve'ein oisin tmura, ve'imesu, and furthermore, and it's very important from the base on this halacha, ve'imesu yiftu, okay? And if they die, they are so chulin that you can even be paid to them right away. Meaning, if it was kadosh and had hekdesh, you'd have to bury it. Why? We'll see on Amud Beis, because the halacha is by a hekdesh animal that you want to be paid, you have to do hamada v'ha'aracha. You have to bring that animal and you have to stand it up and you have to look in front of it and see what's the value of it, and the kohen has to assess. Over here, this animal is dead. It can't stand up in front of you. Since it can't stand in front of you, right, you can't do hamad v'haracha. The halach is that this behemoth that we're talking about, that was first had a mum and then became kadosh, right, is so chulin that even if it dies, you could still be paid at whatever level of kedusha is left on it. You could be paid at no problem. Okay? Those are the halachos by first mum and then became kadosh. Chutz min ha-bechor min ha-meiser. Except for Bechor and Meiser, which we're not going to discuss today, but Bechor and Meiser, the halach is that they are so holy that even if they had a mum kavua, they still maintain a full status of Bechor and Meiser. Fine. So that's stage A of the Mishnah. Stage B of the Mishnah is the exact opposite case. What's the opposite case? If first I'm makdish, and then it gets a mum. Okay? Very simple. V'kol shekadam hekdeshan es muman. If the hekdesh came before the mum kavua, or, and this tangential, or mum oiver lehekdeshan, or if it had a very insignificant mum, something that's going to be oiver, it's going to pass and come back, and then you're makdish it. Or it had a small, tiny mum that's going to go away, and then you're makdish it, and then it gets its mum kavua, and then you're podeh. So now we're talking about a proper behema that you were makdish, and then it got a mum kavua. What's the halacha? Well, that's like any kedusha saguf animal. You're pater min ha-bechora min ha-matanos, because since it had a proper kedusha, you're pater from bechora now, even though now it's nifta. But you're pater min ha-bechora min ha-matanos. Ve'enam yotzin lechulin legazetz v'le'ave, and there's an isser of giza ve'avoida on it. Right? We said it maintains some semblance of kedusha. Vladan v'chelvan asur la'acher pidyainam. Yeah, even their vlados are asur after pidyain. And if you're shaykhid it outside, we'll see what that means again on the base, you're chayav. Ve'oisim tmura, and they maintain a status of tmura, yeah, if before pidyon, right? V'mesu yikaveru, and if they die, you have to bury them. Before you report to them, they died, yeah, all these last two halachas before you report to them. If they died, you have to bury them because they're bichlal the halacha of ha'amada v'ha'aracha, and since you can't do on them, therefore you have no option but to bury them. Clear? The rest of our day today, we're going to talk about case number one. Okay? Case number one is they had a mum kavua, and then you were makdish. Okay? And after you podeh, we said it becomes complete chulin. That's the rest of today's Gemara until the end of Amud Beis. Okay?
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Tomorrow,
yes.
Right? We're saying that but this animal is not really proper, it's heritage, but it's not a right to go on the mizbeach, right? So why should Tomorrow apply?
So that's what we said. Tomorrow applies if it was proper kadosh and then it got a mum.
I assume doing the tomorrow after got the mum.
After got the mum, yes, but not after your podeh. Kedusha was already chal on it, and then it got a mum. We already said it's kadosh. It has kedusha saguf. The kedusha saguf is there. Now you can't bring it on the korban on the mizbeach. That's because you can't.
Tomorrow applies to kedusha saguf, not just
not
to
kedusha's damen. Correct.
Not to something that's royal in mizbeach.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. It had to have been royal mizbeach originally, even though now it's not. Correct. Okay. Says the Gemara like this. In a case where first there was a mum, and then you were makdish it, and then you're paideh it, we said taima diniftu. Yeah, the reason is because you were paideh. Therefore they are chulin. Haloi niftu. But if you weren't paideh this animal, if it had a mum, and then you were makdish and you weren't paideh, turim min ha-bechora min ha-matanos. The only reason we said Kasavar Kedushas Damim Matcha min ha-bechora min ha-matanos. You see from here that Kedushas Damim pushes away Bechora and Matanos, right? The only reason our Mishnah said you're chayav in Bechora and Matanos is because you were paideh. Mashma, if you weren't paideh, even though it had a mum kavua, so it's only called Kedushas Damim Lamizbeach, because you know it can't go as a korban. It's only Kedushas Damim Lamizbeach. Nevertheless, the Gemara said you're only pater from Bechora and Matanos if you were paideh, which means if you weren't paideh, it'd be chayav, right? So fine, that's a statement that the Gemara says. Kasavar Kedushas Damim Matmin of Bechora and Matanos. That's statement number one. Next, statement number two, we said V'yotzin lechulin. They become chulin. Why? Again, the Gemara says, Taima de niftu, because you were paideh. Haloi niftu, but if you weren't paideh, if this was a behema that had a mum and then you were makdish it and you weren't paideh, what would be the halacha? It would be asur begiza v'avodah, right? That's what's mashma from the Mishnah. It'd be asur begiza v'avodah. Says the Gemara, wait a minute. Maybe Misayeh Leila Rabbi Eliezer. Let's say this is a riot of Rabbi Eliezer. Why? What did Rabbi Eliezer say? De Amar Kache Bedek Kabayis Asurim Begiza Be'avodah. Okay? Now let's be very clear. He's talking about a different case. He's talking about Kache Bedek Kabayis. We're talking about Kedushas Damim Lemizbeach. Right? We are makdish a behema. Yeah? After it had a movie makdish a behema. That money has to go to the Mizbeach, not to Kedushas Bedek Kabayis. Gemara wants to make a pull and say, look, we see it's also because of our if you were paideh, maybe that's a riot of Rebbe Eliezer. Says the Gemara, Amri loy. Kedushas damim lemizbeach hu demichlefi b'kedushas haguf lemizbeach gazer b'rabbanan. No, over here, this animal is a lot more similar to a proper animal that's kadosh lemizbeach. And we might say that if it's not chayav begizav avoda, you might come to confuse and say, oh good, so then regular animals are also mutter begizav avoda. So we were geyser chazal, and they said, no, this type of animal that had a mum kavua, and then you were makdish, that's also begizav avoda. But kedushas bedek habayis, where it's money that's going to restructure the Beis Hamikdash, we never said that. About bedek habayis, so you don't have a riot to
It's
Abliyas.
an occasion from the first part of the Mishnah, where the animal had a mum before you were makdish. It's the same as Bedek Habayis, Kedushas Bedek Habayis.
That's the point. That is not Kedushas Bedek Habayis. That you missed the Hakadama. That's Kedushas Damim Lemizbeach. That's what it's called. And that's the big thing I learned, Rabbi Isai, from today in preparing this year, is that that's what I learned, that there's really 3 different stages. There's Kedushas Korban, Kedushas Haguf, that goes on to the Mizbeach. There's Bedek Habayis, that's the other extreme, and that's just money that goes to restructuring of the Beis Hamikdash. And then there's this middle stage called Kedushas Damim Lamizbeach. And Kedushas Damim Lamizbeach means is that it's money that's allocated to bring korbanos to the Mizbeach. And that I do with an animal that had a mum, and then I was makdish it. That's called Kedushas Damim Lamizbeach. It's something else.
This mum,
it's not Kedushas Bedek
this
Habayis.
mum was obviously apparent immediately.
It's a mum
4
kavua.
leg missing.
And you came along anyway, and you were
What did you
makdish
have
the
in
animal.
mind? You're going to makriv it?
No, you had in mind that what I want to say, it was another way of you saying, it was another way of you saying the amount of money and value of this I want to buy for a korban to the Mizbeach.
That's Domim.
Correct? But it's not Bedek Habayis. Exactly, you got it. Now you got it. Exactly. It's Damim for the Mizbeach.
So that's no different to saying I want to give this bookcase as a korban.
I don't know. Maybe.
The value
Could
of
be.
it.
Yeah,
The
could be.
value of this bookcase is a korban.
Yeah, correct.
Not
It's
the-
like saying
not
eight
the
and
bookcase
nine.
itself.
Correct. Exactly. Okay? And that's an in-between stage. Next, we said Vladan v'chalavam mutter. We said that after you're paida, this animal, again, all day today, all we're talking about is, I'm not going to keep repeating this, is the last time I'm saying it, the animal had a mum already. And then you were makdish. That's the case of Noam. And all these halachas refer to that case. Fine. Vladan v'chalavam mutter. Hey chidami, what's the case? We said that the Vlad is mutter. When was this Vlad created or born? If you're talking about that the behema got pregnant and gave birth after you were paided, well that's pshita, it's chulin in you're already paided, and we said it's already chulin gemurin, so there's no big chiddush. Ella, the aber lifnei pidyanim, v'ysyaled la'acher pidyanim. Ella, the chiddush is that even if it was pregnant before you redeemed it, before you were paided, and it gave birth after you were paided, that Vlad is still chulin gemurin, no problem. And that's the chiddush of our Mishnah. Very nice. Now ask our Gemara a very interesting question. How lifnei pidyanim aser? So Gemara says like this. So if I wasn't paided and it gave birth, this animal, so now we said the Vlad is aser. That's what's masra, right? So now the Gemara asks a fascinating question. What's the setup? The case is like this. I have an animal that the mother is pasul, it's a mum and then kadosh, right? So it's a mum and now it gave birth to a proper child. So the mother was never roy lemizbeach. And now the child is a proper healthy child. Do I have to wait with that child to be poded? Do I have to wait until it gets a mum or not? Usually a hekdesh animal, you have to wait till it gets a mum if you want to be poded, if it's roy lemizbeach, right?
Why not bring it as a korban itself?
The question, that's another question, can you
Why
or
is it
not?
a limit of the animal?
Over here it's coming mikoach the mother. The mother was never able to go onto the mizbeach.
So why is
now-
it a limit of the mother? And the mother is usher, so.
The mother, but he's not. So the child, do you have to wait until this child gets a mum or not? It's a fascinating question, right? Is it only the koach of the mother? And since the mother was never shayach, so this baby also we say it's not shayach, and you could just shecht it right away? Or do we say no? Look, this child's a healthy child. You have to wait till it gets a mum and then be part it.
No, but the
Number two?
third option is to bring it actually, if you say you want
Well, that would
The
be part
mother
of
to be a korban. Maybe this child has to be a korban.
or maybe the opposite. Maybe it can't be because their mother was never right to be. That's the question. Let's see, and we have to move. Okay, that's a good question. So the Gemara says, "Niftim tmimim, or ein niftim tmimim." Are you poided as a tamim, or are you not poided as a tamim? Here we go, Judah. Ready? Drum roll. Let's see if you're right. Are you poided as a tamim or not? Tashma and Brisa. Hamatfis bale mumin kvuim legabe mizbeach. Our case, you were matfis, you made hekdesh. Bale mumin kvuim legabe mizbeach. Veyoldu, and they gave birth. Yimachru ve'ein trichim mum. You do not have to wait for them to get a mum.
But
Why?
They're perfectly fine animals. You know?
They're fine animals. And you could still be part of them without waiting for them to get a mum. Why? She'ein kedusha chala aleihem. Because they don't get the kedusha. Why? Because they are only as strong as their mother. Shelo yehet tafel chamor min ha'ikar. Shelo yehet tafel chamor min ha'ikar. That's what the Gemara says, and that's the halacha. Says the Gemara like this.
You're only as good as your mother.
You're only as good as your mother. Says the Gemara, Taima shelo yehet tafel chamor min ha'ikar. Okay, so that's only because it can't be stronger than the mother. What if lechatchila you said? So that's when we're talking about a case of a Baal Mum. What if you come and say, Aval, hiktis zachar lidamav? What if you're makdish a healthy animal, like you just said, Mr. Cole, a healthy animal, lidamav, and you say, I don't want this korban to come on the mizbeach, but I want his money. Hiktis zachar lidamav, kadosh kedusha saguf. Nevertheless, it's kadosh kedusha saguf, right? That's what we see from here. Misayel leila Rava, dama Rava, hiktis zachar lidamav, kadosh kedusha saguf. Very nice. Okay, so that was number one. Okay, Hakdama number two on the next.
1 second. So I was wrong, right?
Yeah, you were wrong. I didn't want to say that publicly.
I really, but I honestly don't understand. It's a goof. This one has a mum.
Because
I don't understand coming mikoach the mother. I don't understand that.
the
I don't
kedusha.
understand
It,
that.
Let's say you have a Kohen with a mum, he's
Kedusha has
missing an
nothing
arm,
to do with
and he
the
has a
goof.
beautiful child Kohen with no missing arm. Is that kid with
It's a
a
goof.
no, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you the difference. That kohen was never nifsal to be right to go on the mizbeach. He doesn't need to go on the mizbeach.
missing an arm? He can't go in.
He can't do the avodah, right? But we didn't pull away from something. Here, the Vlad's power only comes from the power of the mother.
He's a ben pekor, effectively.
Okay. Hakdama number two. Ready? This is a short hakdama. This is easy. This is not a difficult one. Bamos, right? The bamos. Kedushas bamos. There were certain times in our history where you were allowed to be makriv a korban on a bama, right? There was no Beis Hamikdash before the Beis Hamikdash, before the Akamas Mishkan in the Midbar, after the Mishkan. Correct? We know the numbers. We saw the numbers. In fact, it was it in Zvachim, right? After the Akamas Mishkan, after the Mishkan was destroyed, and in Shiloh, we had a certain amount of time that we were allowed to be a bama. There was a bama ketana and a bama gdola, right? The bama ketana was any individual went to his backyard. He was makdish a korban. He said, I want to bring it as a bama, and he brought it up as a bama ketana, and he shechted it, no problem. And as a bama gdola, which were different areas that had public bamos, right? That's the Akdama, that's it. Now comes along Rebbe Eliezer, and Rebbe Eliezer is going to be mechadesh from our Mishnah. When we said that you're sheichet bachutz pater, what did we say? You have this behema that had a mum, and then you were makdish it, and you were shechted bachutz. We assumed bachutz means bechutz Beis Hamikdash. It's not what it's referring to. What bachutz means, you're a makdish it outside like a bama. You're a makdish it like a bama in the times of the bamos. Okay, so watch what we say. The Gemara says, "V'ashaychem bachutz pater." Rebbe Eliezer masni chayav. Rebbe Eliezer learned our Mishnah and said, "V'ashaychem bachutz." You're chayav. Okay, why are you chayav? Because you're not allowed to be makriv, like Rosh Schomburg pointed out. You're not allowed to be makriv a korban ba'al mum. You're not allowed to do that. And over here, you're a makriv a korban ba'al mum. So a makriv b'chutz, you're chayav. Umuki la bebamas yachid. Dama Rebbe Eliezer, minayin lezoveach behema balas mum. Bebamas yachid, b'shas heter bamos, shuhu below taseh. How do I know I'm over a lav? Shenemar loy tizbach la'Hashem elokecha shor v'seh. Okay? Im eino inyan lebama gdola, dichsiv iveres o shavur, teneu inyan lebamas yachid. Okay? So, this is a very, very important halacha now. And this is what most of this Amud is going to be focused on. Rebbe Eliezer learned that hakravas korban bal mum, you're chayiv because of a pasuk. Lo tizbach laHashem elokecha shor v'seh. Right?
Not the hacker, the makdish. Even to be makdish.
Even to be makdish.
You are even allowed. Even without the hacker.
Well, like tizbach, yeah? Okay. Minayin lezoveach. No, a zoveach. If you're makriv, okay? You may not be makriv a behemas bal mum. How do I learn? From a pasuk. Now, most of the Shemos are going to say, how do I know that that's what the pasuk is teaching me? Maybe it's teaching me something else. And it goes like that. And the focus of the pasuk is lo tizbach laHashem elokecha shor v'seh.
So if you say it and you don't bring it, then you're still chayiv, you're still over. If you just say I'm going to.
So I don't know. I learned this talking about when you're being.
That's cool. We're going to find out.
No, you're being makriv, not just makriv. Okay. Says the Gemara. Ema. We said imeino inin lebama gdoila teneu inin lebama ktana. You see bama ktana that you're going to be chayiv. Says the Gemara. Who said? Ema imeino inin lekachim teneu inin lebechor. Maybe it's referring to a bechor. Yeah. That a bechor can't be makriv as a baal mum. Why? The salkadai tachamina. You might think, Hoel. Sorry. Yeah, that's great. Hoel the kadosh kshu baal mum likar b'nami kshu baal mum. Yeah, that's it. I'll be coughing all day. Okay. Because you might have a havmin to say like this. Come, let's go. You might have a havmin to say like this. Just like a bechor, we know it becomes a bechor even though it has a baal mum. So you might think to yourself, well, if it becomes a bechor even though it's a baal mum, maybe you could be makriv it as a baal mum. Kamash malan our pasuk. That no, it's not karev as a baal mum. Says the Gemara, no, I don't need a pasuk for that. Amri bechor behedek siv bei. Piseach oiver lo tizbechena. By bechor we said if it's a mum you're not zavech it. So I don't need a pasuk to teach me that. Says the Gemara, okay, maybe the pasuk is teaching me something else. Ve'ema imeno inin lekachim teneu inin lemaiser. Maybe the halacha is that if it's a baal mum, it doesn't get kedushas meiser behema. Maybe that's what the pasuk is coming to teach me. Why would I think yeah? This alkedat tachamina hal v'kadosh bim mumo. Since it becomes kadosh, if it has a mum, dichsiv lo yivakir ben toiv l'ra, you don't look whether it's good or bad, even if it has a mum, it becomes kadosh. So nikra v'nami mume. So then you can also be makrivid if it has a mum. This meiser behema, right? You could check it with its mum, kamash malan deloi, and that's what the pasuk is coming to teach me, that you're not makrivid if it has a mum. Amri meiser nami gamar havar varmi bechor. Nope. Meiser I would also learn from Bechor that you're not makriv when it has a mum. I don't need a pasuk fact. Ema teneuinin letmuras kachim. Okay, maybe it's coming to tell me tmuras kachim. If I have this animal which has a mum and then it's nikdash, and now I want to make it a tumura onto something else, tell me that it doesn't work. It gets some level of kedusha when it's a baal mum. But you see that it itself becomes kadosh. So krevanamikshi balas mum. So then maybe you'll also be makriv as a balas mum and kamash malan deloi. And the chiddush is that you're not makriv this tmur as a balas mum. Amar kra v'hayahu tmuraso makish tmuraso lo. Mahu baal mum, you're not makriv. Loy, af tmuraso baal mum, you're not makriv. Right? Very simple. That's right.
Say that last.
So you can say
Say that last line again.
Why here you're giving another pasuk for it?
I hear.
Say that last line again.
Maybe Tamura is not as strong as mother son. That could be, yeah.
What to say the last line?
Say the last line again. So just like a Tamura, you're not makriv as a baal mum, yeah. Just like the animal itself, you're not makriv as a baal mum. So it's Tamura, you're also not makriv as a baal mum. Maskeflor of Zera. Ema taneu inin livlados kachim. What about the vlad of a kachim? Maybe that's what it's coming to teach me. Maybe you have this kachim animal, yeah, baal mum, and it gave birth to a nice healthy baby, yeah. Salkadar Tachamina Ho Vikdoshim Kshu Bali Mumin Agav Iman. Since they become holy Agav Iman, they get a level of Kedusha through their mother. Kishen Bami Mumin Nami Krevi. Yeah, so then you can also be Makriv them, Kamash Malon Deloi, and the Chiddush is that you're not, since now, and this was our big raging debate, they themselves are Tamim. So you'd have a very strong Havmir and say, hey, I can be Makriv this. And comes the pasuk to teach me Kamash Malon Deloi, Amarava Kfar Paskat, the Tana de Bei Rabbi Shmuel, the Tana de Bei Rabbi Shmuel, Rak Kiddushecha, Rak Kiddushecha, Asher Yu Lecha Nidarecha. Yeah? Rak Kiddushecha, Asher Yu Lecha Nidarecha, Rak Kiddushecha, Elu Atmuros, Asher Yu Lecha, Elu Havlados, Unedarecha, Hikisha Kasav Leneder, Ma Neder Baal Mum Loi, Af Haninami Baal Mum Loi. Okay? So we stick with, at the end of the day, the din that we learned at the very top of the Amud. Rebbe Lezer said, Minayim Lezaveach Behema Balas Mum Bebamas Yachid B'Shas Het Bamas, that it's below Tasa, over a lav. He learned it out from the pasuk of Lo Tizbah. Fine. Next. We said, Ve'ein Oisin Tmura.
But is there an issa to actually declare this behavior?
So I don't know. I don't think so.
When
I'm
you
not
first
sure. I don't
started,
think
so you implied.
Roshomer said, yeah. I thought it's only for the Masbiach.
Sakrivu. Yes, Masbiach.
Right, don't be makriv of it.
No, Sakrivu means to relax.
Be makriv it?
Sifbach means.
Okay, here the Gemara brings on Tizbah.
This is the concept in the end.
Okay, I don't know. Fine.
So you're saying there's a separate law.
The Ein Oisin Tmura. Ready?
You're over two lobby with you.
And this behemoth's balas mum that you were makdish afterwards doesn't make a Tmura. My taima, what's the reason? The Amar Kra lo yachlifena v'lo yamir also rabbi toiv v'toiv berach. Right? Bad for good, good for bad. Now let's think about that pasuk for a second. The pasuk says you can't make a Tmura. Meaning, if I have a bad animal and I feel bad about that, I'm like, I should really bring a better korban to the Beis Hamikdash. Let me flip it to a better animal. Pasuk says, yeah, you still shouldn't do that.
Tomorrow you shouldn't.
And then the Gemara, and then the pasuk continues and says, and not tov birah, and don't take a good animal and be machafid onto a bad animal. Well, that's obvious, isn't it? So the pasuk obviously is not coming to tell me that. Okay, what does it mean? Because that's obvious. You can't do that. Okay. De'amar kra lo yachafim v'lo yamer hashta rabbi toiv amarta amart loy toiv barami bayi. Do I need to tell you if I have a good animal I shouldn't try to be memorized onto a bad animal? That's obvious. El tov meikaro oset tmura. What the pasuk is teaching me is exactly this halacha. A good animal that wasn't puzzled to begin with before your maksid makes a tmura. Rame karo eino setmura. But if it had a mum originally, and then you're makdish it, meaning our case, what we're talking about all day today, and then you're makdish it, that doesn't make a tmura, and that we learn out straight from a pasuk. Okay.
But by the way, isn't that enough tmura even though it's not betov?
What?
Regular case of tmura is a tov betov.
It makes tmura. You're not allowed to do it, but it makes tmura. Right? It's chal.
I'm saying that you're
They're
allowed
both
to.
cut. Right. Okay. Hakdama number 3. And this, Rabbi said, just focus. Hakdama number 3 is a Gemara in Tmura. Okay, and if we get this, it's a little tricky, but let's get it. Yeah, we've got 10 minutes. We could do this. Okay. We said, the Hakdama at the end, to part 3. We said like this. A behema that's kadosh, in order to be podeh, there's a din of ha'amada v'ha'aracha. Meaning, you have to, literally, that behema has to come to you, walk over to you, stand in front of you, and you do a ha'amada v'ha'aracha. If the animal is dead, you can't do ha'amada v'ha'aracha. So if you can't do ha'amada v'ha'aracha, you can't be podeh, right? Very good. Now, our Mishnah said, a case of, if it was, had a mum, and then you're a makdish it, and it dies, no problem, you could be podeh, right? No problem. Which means, essentially, it doesn't need hamada v'ha'aracha, right? The seifa of our Gemara Mishnah said, if it was kadosh, and then it got a mum, and then it died, you can't be podeh, because it needs hamada v'ha'aracha, therefore you have to bury it, because it needs hamada v'ha'aracha, right? Okay, good. That's step 1. Now, this halacha of hamada v'ha'aracha, when does it apply? On what sorts of animals? That's a very, very, very big machlokas in the Gemara and Tmura. That's a big machlokas in the Gemara and Tmura. It either applies by kache mizbeach only, or it applies also by Kache Bedek Habayis, or it applies to both. That's machlokas number 1. Okay? Machlokas number 2, does this concept of Hamad of Haracha apply to a behema that started with a Baal Mum as a Mum or not? Our Gemara, what we're discussing today, it had a Mum, it got Kadosh. Is there such a halach of Hamad of Haracha? Okay? Now there are 3 shitos. Okay? Listen, if we have this clear, we got this Gemara. It's worth spending the minute. There are 3 shitos. I'll give you the 2 extremes, then I'll give you the middle case. Okay? You have Reb Shimon. Reb Shimon says the concept of Hamad of Haracha only applies by Kachem Mizbeach. Very straightforward. Only by Kachem Mizbeach, the din of Hamad of Haracha. Everything else doesn't need Hamad of Haracha. Okay? So, and he says, let's say our case where it had a mum first and then became kadosh, no Hamad of Haracha. He's a very straightforward. It had to have been proper, able to go onto the Mizbeach, and now it's not. That needs Hamad of Haracha. Anything else, not.
And therefore the Padiyah is a simple one.
Therefore, simple Padiyah, no problem. Even if it's dead, you could be paid, then no problem. Okay? That's Reb Shimon. The other extreme is Tana de Bei Levi. Tana Hamad of Haracha. Kache Bedek Habayis needs Hamad of Haracha. Kache Mizbeach, Mum, no, needs Hamad of, straightforward. Very good. The in-between shitas.
What if the mum means that it can't stand up? Like it's missing 2 legs.
Everything needs Hamad of Haracha, okay? And if it can't, so then you have to bury it. That's exactly the point.
Be in a wheelchair.
Everything needs Hamad of Haracha, okay? You're stuck. He's the most extreme the other way. Okay? Chachamim are the middle shita, okay? And now here it just gets tiny bit tricky because there's A and B, okay? There's Rabbi Yochanan and Reish Lakish in Shitas Chachamim, okay? Reish Lakish says in Shitas Chachamim, this is just what it is. Reish Lakish says, I didn't want to say that. Reish Lakish says in Shitas Chachamim, only Kache Bedek Habayis needs Hamad of Haracha, not like Tana de Bei Levi. He says, Kache Mizbeach, Kache Bedek Habayis. Only Kache Bedek Habayis. That's what Reish Lakish says. Rabbi Yochanan says, no, it's also Shaykh by Kache Bedek Habayis. It's also Shaykh by Kache Mizbeach, like Reb Shimon, but also only if the hekdesh came before the mum. Okay?
He's closer to Bei Levi. He's closer to
He's in between. He's in between. It's basically for he's closer to that side. Okay? That's what it is. Okay? Now, our Mishnah said, if it died, it already had a mum and then hekdesh, doesn't need Hamad of Haracha, right? You could just be poideh, right? So we could already start to figure out who this is, right? We won't do it Be'al Peh because we don't have time, okay? But you could, in theory, do it Be'al Peh already. And if it had, and our Mishnah said, in the Sefer, our Mishnah said, if it was kadosh and then got a mum, you have to bury it. Why? Because it needed Hamad of Haracha. Okay?
Once kadosh, it's always.
Once kadosh, that's it. You're done. Okay? That's the setup. Let's read the Gemara. Imesu yiftu. Amar Rav Yudah, Amar Rav. Rav comes along and says, our Mishnah is Zudiv Reb Shimon. Why? What did Reb Shimon say? The Amar in Tmura. He said, Kache Mizbeach, Hayu Bechlal Hamad of Haracha. Kache Mizbeach needs Hamad of Haracha. Kache Bedek Habayis, Lo Hayu Bechlal Hamad of Haracha. Doesn't need Hamad of Haracha. Ditnan, Reb Shimon Omer, Kache Bedek Habayis, Imesu Yiftu. A Kache Bedek Habayis, if they died, you can be paid there right away because it doesn't need Hamad of Haracha. Umoide Reb Shimon, Shbebal Mumei Karo, Shinifte. Yeah? He agrees that even in that case, a Baal Mumei Karo, meaning our case, what we're talking about all day, Baal Mum and then you're a makdish it, right? That you can be paid there. My taima, the Amarkra, Oisa. Oisa limute Baal Mumei Karo. The only case, according to Shimon, that needs Hamad Haracha is if it was a proper hekdesh and then got a mum. But even he's modeh to Tana de Bei Levi. That if it had a mum and then you were makdish it, doesn't need Hamad Haracha. So our Mishnah, very straight up, very good. Reb Shimon, straight and glad, very easy, correct? Aval Chachamim Omrim, and this is Rav continuing. Aval Chachamim Omrim Imesu Yikaveru. Chachamim argued and said, no, if it died, even our case of mum and then hekdesh, if it died, you have to be kaver it. Who's Chachamim, Rabbi Isai? Very straightforward. Tana de Bei Levi, right? Man Chachamim, Tana de Bei Levi. Why? The Tana de Bei Levi, Hakol Hayu B'chal Hamad of Haracha, Ve'afilu Ba'al Mumei Karo. Even though it had a Mumei Karo, Everything needs hamad ve'arach, right? So even our case where it had a mum and then it was kadosh and it died, what would Tana Debei Levi say? Bury it. Sorry.
A chai was never idle in the spare.
Correct. Even neither is kosher ben kabayis. Nothing is. It needs hamad ve'aracha. Sorry, you got to bury it. That's Tana Debei Levi. Very good. Very good. Vaksiv oisa, and oisa we learned as a miyut. Oisa the Tana Debei Levi kasha. In Achanami, that miyut is a bit difficult for Tana Debei Levi. Aval Rabbanan did pligi alei de Rab Shimon. Now, what about the middle shita? What about Rabbanan, who argued on Rab Shimon? Where do they fall out over here on our Mishnah? My hachanami de mesu yiftu. We said that Rabbi Yochanan in Chachamim agreed to Rab Shimon. Agreed that if it had a mum and then it became kadosh, no hamad v'aracha, and you could be paid that. If that's the case, ihachi, why Rav did you say zu divrei Reb Shimon? You should have said zu divrei Reb Shimon umachlukuso mibailei. That's Reb Shimon and those that argue on him, namely Rabbanan, according to Rabbi Yochanan, right? Says the Gemara. They said in the Beis Medrash, Amri Rav Reb Shimon ben Lakish. No, because Rav held like Reb Shimon ben Lakish in Rabbanan. What did Reb Shimon ben Lakish in Rabbanan say? Only, very good. Only Koche Bedek Habayis needs Hamad V'Aracha. This wasn't Bedek Habayis, right? Okay. Amar Rav Reb Shimon ben Lakish. Damar leRabbanan Koche Bedek Habayis Hayu B'Chlal Hamad V'Aracha. Koche Mizbeach Lo Hayu B'Chlal Hamad V'Aracha. V'Loi Metukna Masnisin K'Rabbanan. And you can't be Mamid the Mishnah like Rabbanan. Why? Because what did the Seifa say? The Seifa said if it was Kadosh and then got a mum and it died, what do you have to do?
Yeah.
You got to bury it, right?
So say like it's Rabbi Yochanan with the Chachamim.
Oh, so that will be the maskana. You jumped. Excellent. You're holding. Diktani Seifa Imesu Yikaveru. Yikavru. You have to bury it. So you see that can't be. It can't be Reish Lakish, right? In Chachamim.
Yeah, he doesn't care about that.
He don't care about that. He only cares about Bedek Habayis. Says the Gemara, Mimai deha mesu yikaveru mishum debai hamad ve'arachahu. I set you guys up. I said, if the Mishnah says you have to bury it, it must be because it says, because you need hamad ve'aracha. Entertains the Gemara the following. Who says, maybe the fact that you have to bury it is for a different halacha, for a different reason. Dilma mishum de'ein poidim esakachim lachilin leklavimhu. There's a halacha that says you're not poideh kachim to feed them to dogs. Now this animal that's dead, it's a carcass, the only thing I could do with it is feed it to the dogs. And the halacha is you're not poideh to feed it to the dogs, and therefore you say the kaveru. Yeah?
No, there's a mitzvah.
What about Chasman Hoshi?
Says the Gemara, Amri, no. Im Kain, if that's the case, Nisnui, then it should have said, Im Nasu Treifa Yikaveru. Yeah, then the Mishnah should have said, it didn't have to say if it died, you have to bury it. You should have said it became a treifa, you have to bury it. And then I won't fall into the mistake of this whole Hamad V'Aracha business. So that's rejection number one. V'bai Seima, exactly like Levi said, La'olam Rav Rabbi Yochanan Svirlei V'tani Zudi V'Rab Shimon U'Machlekuno. Okay, and you could say Zudi V'Rab Shimon U'Machlekuno. So meaning in Achanami, it's Rab Shimon and it's Rabbi Yochanan in Shitas Chachamim.